Hey family, it's your family CPA, Jasmine Young, and you're listening to the Talk Wealthy to Me podcast. Get you a black CPA, we out here. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are listening. This is your family CPA with another episode of Talk Wealthy to Me podcast. And we are talking about one of the most complicated yet easy topics of financial literacy that everybody wants to talk about. We're talking about credit. So we've talked about personal credit before, but we haven't really dabbled in business credit that much. And with the emergence of so many new business owners during the pandemic, which we are unfortunately still in, a lot of people are trying to build business credit. They're starting their businesses and submitting their LLC paperwork today and trying to get a loan tomorrow. So in order for us to build business credit, we had to bring in a business credit guru. I am so happy and proud to bring on one of our family members, Miss Maria Venzant of Pretty Princess Spa Boutique and the founder and CEO of Boss Lady University. Maria, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm so glad you decided to come on and share your knowledge with us as it relates to business credit. I'm sure you've gotten a lot of questions about business credit. You use business credit. You've built business credit successfully. So let's just jump right into it. But before we do that, tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do, and why you do what you do.
Well, a little bit about me. Well, first, I am a wife and a mom of 4 beautiful kids. Aww. My oldest actually just went off to college this year. So
don't cry, Maria. Don't cry.
Listen, I have my moments. I packed up my family and went to visit her the other day just because I missed her. And also, I own 2 businesses right now. So I own, like you said, Pretty Princess Spa Boutique, which is located in Fayetteville, Georgia. And I also run Boss Lady University, which is global. It's all online, so I teach everywhere. It's not in a central location. And my goal for Boss Lady University, which this falls in, is pretty much teaching women entrepreneurs how to start, grow, and do everything successfully with their business, how to start their business successfully, grow their business. I teach from a lot of mistakes that I've made along the way. I've been an entrepreneur for about 17 years now, did a lot of dabbling and trying to find my way, and I finally did. And now I teach other women how to do the same.
That's dope that you're actually using what you've been through to reach back and teach other people. And that's what financial literacy is all about, is bringing somebody else along for the journey. Not to say that you can't do it alone. I wouldn't advise you to do it alone. But there are other people that have been through what you're going through and that can help you get from point A to point B without going through the pitfalls that we've been through. So shout out to you for that, for reaching back and helping your community. Now let's get into the good stuff. Business credit. Tell us, Maria, why is business credit important in the first place?
Well, I'm going to start off with an example of what I've been through and how I kind of fell into business credit the wrong way. And so I started one of my businesses maybe 8 years ago, Infinity. And I grew it and I got successful at it and I made a lot of money, but I was using my own money. I did not know anything about using what people call OPM, other people's money.
Absolutely.
And so a lot of me growing my businesses involved me spending my money, it coming out of my house, with the kids, with family, everything I had, I threw back into business until I learned maybe 4 years in that you can use business credit. So because I didn't go and research, or even I didn't know, I just learned the hard way how important business credit is. And the biggest thing is to use other people's money instead of your own when you can. And it's not a hard thing to do.
Absolutely. I like the fact that you mentioned OPM. A lot of people think that, in order to build your business, we call it bootstrapping. You got to use your own assets. And the purpose of credit, you guys, is not so you can go out and splurge on things that create you no revenue. It's to use other people's money to get you more money. That's the whole point of credit, whether it's personal or business credit. So I'm with you, Maria. Business credit is very, very important. And if you're going to have a business, why not use your business credit versus your personal credit? Now, before we get into that, I almost gave it away a little bit, Maria. Tell us the difference between your business credit and your personal credit, because a lot of people think it's the same, or they don't even know the difference between the two.
Right. So definitely there are two different scores. There are two different areas. Your personal credit is about your personal finances, your bills, your cell phone bill, your whatever things that are reported to your personal credit. You have your car note and things like that. That's your personal, everything that you're doing for your personal life, you and your family. Business credit is everything to do with your business. It's a separate score. It's a separate area. And that is your financial behavior when it comes to business. Some people like me in the beginning, I was very good with my business credit, but not so great with my personal credit.
And that's common for a lot of people that I've seen being a CPA and working with business owners. They're trying to build business credit, but their personal credit is like shot.
Yeah, and it's totally separate. So business credit is just extremely important to keep your business separate from your personal and build that business credit up and get financing for your business so that you can use the other people's money to build your dream of whatever that business is, get it financed without, touching your own personal.
Right. And I think what people need to realize is that, if you have great personal credit, that's great. But business credit is necessary, even more so when you're dealing in business. You want to be able to get funding based off of your business's financial behavior and not your personal, so that you can separate the two. Most people don't even know that business credit reports to different bureaus. The bureaus aren't even the same. The score calculation is totally different. The score is different. Right. They look at two different things. Whereas with your personal credit, they're looking at, how what's your payment structure? Are you paying your bills on time? What mix of credit do you have? How many inquiries do you have? It's so many different factors that goes into personal credit. But then when you look at business credit, they want to know how do you pay your bills on time?
Yeah, exactly.
That's all they want to know. Well, how do you pay it on time? And then the numbers even fluctuate as it relates to
credit. And I'm sure you see this a lot as a CPA. And one thing that I do appreciate when it comes to building business credit, they require certain things. And when you have these certain things, that's going to almost guarantee that you're keeping your business and your personal separate. Like a bank account, a business bank account versus commingling your funds. And it helps. It helps with keeping everything separate.
Right. So you touched on something that I want to get a little bit more into as it relates to building business credit. For those that are just now starting their business, or for those that have been in business and aren't aware, what are the steps to actually build business credit?
So I'm gonna just say it's really easy. And what it is the structure of making sure your business is a legitimate business. And what that means is having a structure, whether you're LLC, a S Corp, C Corp, whatever your structure is, you have a structure. Then you have to have an EIN number, which is something separate. I know a lot of people, including me, again, in the beginning, I had an EIN number and I thought that was it. Like I'm officially legit because I have an EIN number, and that's step two. The first step is, because if you can't get the LLC, you just had an EIN for no reason because you can't use it. So having that structure, having your EIN, having a business phone number, a business email, which is, if you cannot use Gmail, have like a info at whatever your business name is, a website, 800, like it's a long list of different things that they require. And it's all to make sure that you're a legitimate business. Having a DNB number, that's like at the top of the list too. So it's a lot of small things to do, it's not hard. It just, if you sit down, take an hour, 2 hours, do all these little things, it's going to help you have your business structured right and help you with building business credit.
And for those of you that are not familiar with DNB, Dun & Bradstreet is actually what DNB stands for. So your Dun & Bradstreet number to your business is what your social security number is to your personal credit. That's exactly how they use your DNB number to actually report your business's financial performance and history. So remember, get a DNB number. You don't have to pay for it. It's free. Just like an EIN number is free. So if somebody out there trying to tell you I'll get you a DNB number for $200, they scamming. Okay. Right. It's free.
And almost every application, especially when you're starting off, they're going to ask for that number.
Absolutely. So got to have an EIN number, got to have a DNB number. Now, we talked a little bit about personal credit and business credit being different. At any time during your business's life, does your business credit affect your personal credit at all?
No. However, your personal credit could as you go up, because some places would want you to do a personal guarantee.
Absolutely.
They're going to look into your personal credit, because again, if you have bad behavior with your personal credit, that can sometimes transfer over to your business credit too. Because if you don't have that financial literacy on how to make sure you're paying your bills on time to keep your score up, you're going to have that same issue when it comes to having your business credit.
Absolutely. I definitely agree. And a lot of people, start off building business credit and they're like, oh, I don't want to personally guarantee anything, but you don't have any business credit established at all.
Right.
So you have to understand that in the preliminary stages of building business credit, there are some things that you're going to have to personally guarantee, simply because these people don't know you and they don't trust you. They don't know what your financial performance is going to be like in your business. So for them to get an idea of that, they go and look at your personal credit to see what's going on. And this is one of the reasons why I always tell people, if your personal credit is shot, start there, because you're going to have to use a PG or something now or later. You're going to have to use it.
And also what you mentioned in the beginning, if we just think about it, there were so many new businesses that started last year. And like you said, people want to jump and get business credit and don't have a history of even having a business or running a business or a history of having a profitable business. Like they're going to want a personal guarantee. It has to be some type of meat or skin in the game. They have to look at something to know that they're giving you this money, that they're going to get it back.
Absolutely. And I'm glad you brought that up, because a lot of people skip over that part about a business being profitable, but they want funding. And I tell people all the time, when they're looking at your tax returns and you got a net loss and they're asking you to provide that information to them during the verification process for funding, what that net loss basically tells them is that you don't have no money after your expenses to pay them back. So business itself is a trade-off. Like, if you want to actually use it to build generational wealth, you can't write off everything, guys, because it's going to come back to bite you. And then doing too many amendments, that's going to trigger the IRS to come in and look and say, okay, why does she keep amending every tax return she files? She amends it. What's really going on? So the thing is to be honest. And that's really the biggest thing that I preach when it comes to credit, whether it's personal or business, is honesty. These people want to know if you're trustworthy. That's all credit is. So if your personal credit is shot, 9 times out of 10, your business credit gonna be shot, and these folks ain't gonna want to trust you. They're looking to see, and your credit score is simply how much can we trust you? The higher that number is, the more they can trust you, right?
Yeah, I just want to add one little thing in here, because again, a lot of the stuff that I learned along the way was self-taught and self-taught through mistakes. So again, that's why I go and I teach, so that I tell people so that you don't have to learn the same way I learned. And one thing that I learned a couple of years ago, because I was one of those business owners that write off everything because there's so much that you can write off. So I'm writing off everything. And I know that my gross income for one of my business was over 6 figures. I'm like, okay, well, I'm ready to buy a house and I know how much I make. However, when it comes to buying a house, they're not looking at your gross income. They're looking at your net income, which again, because I had everything as a deduction, it went from here to there. And it's like, oh no, you make this. And so again, that's the trade-off. Like, if you're going to take all these deductions, which you can, then you have to realize what that means for you in the future too, based on certain decisions that you're going to want to make if you want to get loans and your net profit is 30,000 versus 150,000. So
absolutely.
yeah.
I definitely agree. Now, Maria, talk to us a little bit about building business credit. I know when the show first started, we mentioned about those people that started LLC today and they trying to get a loan tomorrow. How long does it actually take to build business credit? Like, is there really a timeline?
It's what I tell people, it's a marathon, not a race. It's not a sprint. So there are different tiers when it comes to building business credit. So, I mean, you can be in tier 1, you could be getting like gas cards or vendor, been approved as a vendor to things like Uline and Granger. Like those are small tier 1. So that's building business credit.
Right.
So it really depends on what your goal is. If your goal, when it comes to the question of how long does it take to get $100,000 loan from Chase, then that's going to take a little bit longer, because along with you building your business credit, they want to see, again, profitable income business. And they also you want to have some type of history of being in business, because based on statistics, a lot of businesses kind of go under within the first 3 to 4 years. So why would they give you a huge loan when you don't even know if you can get past that hump? Absolutely. So it's really a subject, like it really depends on what your goal is. If you're getting just right in, you can get the net 30 accounts. You can start building credit that way. But like that big loan, you got some time.
You got some time. Maria, this is so good. I want to take a quick break. After the break, you guys, we're going to come back and talk a little bit more about business credit. But stay tuned. We'll be right back.
My name is Ursula Lentini, and I have gifts to offer you. I do extensive healing work. I've worked on thousands of people and want to help you. I have tools, techniques, experience, and there's healing available to you. Sometimes we feel lost and confused. We don't know how we got to where we are, and we just want out. We just want to find a better way to become our best self. So I can help you become your best self with the healing work that I do. Pranic healing, internal family systems, which is subconscious work, and just bringing my presence to your presence to remind you who you truly are.
Welcome back. We are here with Miss Maria Venzant of Pretty Princess Spa Boutique and the founder and CEO of Boss Lady University. And she is giving us all the tea, y'all, about building business credit. So Maria, before we cut to the break, we were talking about how long does it take to build business credit, and people that want to start their LLC today and get business credit tomorrow. Another thing I have seen people do is they want to finance a car in their business name. Talk to us about that. Like, what's the tea on that? It's like a pandemic of its own. Everybody trying to do it now. So tell us a little bit. Can we do it? So how should we? What's the tea?
Yeah. So, and also with that being such a huge question, the other one is also, everybody hear about the G Wagon, like, being the business and should I get a G Wagon? So it's so many layers to that question, right? Because again, it all boils down to how long have you been in business? So if you cannot have just started your business yesterday or last year and, hey, I want to go finance this car, because just like with the Chase loan that we were talking about, they're going to want to see a profitable business. They want to see that you've been in business for some time. They want to know that what they're investing in and giving you this car loan, that you are reliable to pay it back. So again, based on how long you've been in business, you're either going to have the personal guarantee, and which when you personal guarantee, you have lower interest rate or, lower fees, or you can do it without the personal guarantee, but you might have higher fees. It's just all a trade-off in how long you've been in business. And also along with that, because you could have been in business for a very long time, and have never built business credit. Absolutely. So they're going to look at your business credit too. So I believe I didn't start building my business credit, like I said, maybe 4 or 5 years in. It's like, oh, that's the thing. Because again, that was not taught in my neck of the woods. My mother is not a business owner. My grandmother was, but that wasn't a thing way back then, where she didn't have access to it. So I didn't have business credit. So even though my company was like 5 years old, I would not have been able to go in and say, hey, let me do this, because I had no history of paying bills. I paid bills, But they don't know that because there was no credit report for my business to say that I did. Right. So it's so many different layers. So a lot of people do because it's a great tax write-off. And again, I'm pretty sure you teach on that versus financing versus leasing, tax write-off over the years versus the monthly payments. So it's really big. What are your goals? And are you using your vehicle for business? Because are you writing off this mileage? They're going to want to see all of that stuff. You have to go in there prepared with all your paperwork of your taxes, a profit, your articles of organization, like all these different things. You have to prove a lot.
Right.
And go and walk in there and get that loan.
Exactly. And then another thing that people don't realize is that when you're funding a car for business purposes, you can't just get regular car insurance. You got to get commercial auto insurance, which is higher than personal insurance.
And more expensive. Yep.
And then the financing, the interest rate is higher. Because you're financing this car for business use and not for commercial use and not for personal. So a lot of people don't even take into account the additional cost that comes.
It just sounds great. It sounds great.
It sounds good. Like, oh, I got this car in my business name, and they have no idea what the costs are that come with it. So
what you just added on to your bills.
Exactly. It increases your operating expenses, which further decreases your net income. So it's like, you really got to take a look at how all of this plays into your big financial picture. So,
and also, I will also add in to have a discussion with their CPA before they even go do that, because you know their finances. So it's not just a decision to go just do. You want to research, you want to talk to your experts that's in your life to see if it's good for you to do right now. And like you just said, all the extra things that come along with it, even when it comes to taxes.
Absolutely. I definitely agree. Now, Maria, before we let you go, we want to talk about your credit bootcamp program at Boss Lady University. Tell us a little bit about that, because I know it's dope.
Yeah. So I decided I did the first launch in December, and I get a lot of questions about business credit, actually even about business funding in general. So one thing that I did add in there was business grants too. So the boot camp is a 90-day boot camp, because I know that giving you just a workbook is probably just going to sit in your email, or you're going to print it out and it's going to sit in your desk. So what I decided to do was create this boot camp to help people accountable. When we come together in a group and you see somebody else posting like, oh, I just got this credit card, and oh, I just got my website up and running. Like when you see other people, making strides to do what you said you were going to do, it's going to motivate you. And then also when you put something in there and other people say, oh my God, you inspire me, that motivates you too. So it's really a group of being motivated to do these things. That there's a workbook that comes with it, and it's 31 pages right now. And it's just basically everything you need to know to get started and to start building your business credit. And then when you go into the Facebook group, which is the accountability, we have weekly posts, and I go in there monthly, and we just go and we talk about challenges that happen, or because also the vendors are almost a little volatile, where 1 month Granger is reporting and they've been reporting for 3 years, and then the next they're not. And it's like, so we all kind of are in the loop, and we have a goal of building business credit, and we just do it together. So that's the Boss Lady.
It's so important what you just said about the vendors reporting, because a lot of people think, oh, I've got this Net 30 account with somebody that don't even report anymore.
Right.
So it does your business credit no good, actually. And then I'll use myself for an example. Our firm, Southern Heritage Financial Group, we just became a reportable vendor. So if you purchase a monthly program or a monthly service with us, we actually report your payments to Dun & Bradstreet. So you can get business credit just by paying your CPA on time. Pay us on time. Need our money. So yes. So I'm glad that you actually put this program together. Now, for those that are interested in signing up for the boot camp, how do they do that?
Well, they can find me on Facebook at Boss Lady U is a group, and that's the overall group where I teach everything, not just business credit, how to take your business online. So usually when I launch my products, I launch it in my group first. So the Boss Lady Bootcamp, Business Credit Bootcamp is going to be coming out next month. So to get like heads up of, getting in there first, because literally I only take a small group of people at a time, because I want to make sure that I can give, undivided attention to questions business and things like that. So it's posted there. Like I said, it's Boss Lady U. I can actually give the website. So it's facebook.com/groups/Boss Lady UNIV. V as in Victor. So it's, yeah.
So y'all y'all know how we do. Go and crash her Facebook group. She needs to see all of these membership requests to get in this group so you can get all of the information as it relates to business credit and build your business credit with the boss lady herself at Boss Lady University. Now, Maria, before we go, how can people just connect with you? If they're not necessarily just interested in purchasing the boot camp so far, how can they connect with you on social media? Drop your contact information, your social media handles, how people can work with you.
Okay, so same thing, same group. You don't have to be in the group. You can be in there. I've had people in there for like, years that haven't purchased anything, but I do come on there and do lives and I teach about different things. So you don't have to purchase anything to be in the group. Once you purchase, we actually go to a different group that's more personalized. So you definitely can find me on Facebook in that with that link. And then also I'm on Instagram, Maria Venzant.
Now y'all heard of the group is free, but the boot camp, you got to pay for it. So
yes, ma'am.
head on over to www.facebook.com/groups/Boss Lady UNIV, and then go and crash her Instagram profile at Maria Venzant. That's V as in Victor, ENZ as in zebra, ANT. Maria, thank you so much for coming through. I really appreciate you dropping your knowledge and just being willing to help other people avoid some of the big pitfalls that you and other business owners were susceptible to, simply because you didn't have anyone to talk to or you just didn't know. So thank you so much for helping spread financial literacy around the globe through your Boss Lady University group, your products, your boot camps, and just your presence on this show. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, y'all. That has been another episode of Talk Wealthy to Me. I am your host, your family CPA. Stay tuned for another episode coming up next week. I'm wishing you love, peace, and generational wealth.
Somebody say, hey, we want some.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Talk Wealthy to Me. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like, comment, and share.